Well, there are a bunch of movies that turned 40 today. Fly the Navigator, Howard the Duck. But the one I'm going to be talking about is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Oh, man. This was the one that I remember us talking about in kindergarten. Of course, the only question I asked, because I was aware of the franchise, I just hadn't seen any of them at that time yet. I asked a friend of mine in kindergarten, how did Jason come back in this one? And he said, lightning struck his grave. But of course, when he said that, I thought he meant that it just literally blasted his grave and he came back. But when we started renting them and started watching them, that's I basically saw what he was talking about. Oh, man. Now, this was the one that was added a lot of comedy to it. I do remember laughing at a number of the jokes. But I also am going to say, I am sorry, but this one is my least favorite in the franchise. I still do enjoy it, but yes, I do like the Roy Burns one better. But I still do love all the Friday the 13th, 1 through 8, that is. Okay. Okay, I don't mind Freddy vs. Jason, but I did not like, I hated Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, and I did not really go for the remake. My brother enjoyed the remake, but I didn't. But, okay, I'm just going to be, this guy just say you're going to be talking about Jason Lives. Okay, this is the one that did lead to some confusion, because Part 5 did point out that Jason got cremated, and I found out that when I was watching, I think it was a Joe Blow video, Jason's father was originally going to be in this one. He doesn't appear in the novelization, but he's not in the movie, because the director felt he wasn't needed, and it turns out his father was going to reveal that he paid them off to say that Jason was cremated, and at the end, he was supposed to even appear visiting Jason's grave. He does in the novelization, but once again, he's not in the movie. Well, that would have fixed that plot hole, because after that, because the beginning of Part 6, people were probably confused, saying, wait, Jason, they said he was cremated, why is he in a grave? Well, when that information came out, I'm pretty sure everybody, okay, that explains that. It probably is in the novelization. I gotta read that one of these days. I've only read a few novelizations. I just finished Silent Night, Deadly Night's novelization, I believe it was last month. Okay. Part 6 starts off on a dark and stormy night where Tommy is visiting Jason's grave to cremate him because he believes that Jason belongs in hell. He has a friend by his side who's scared, but they go to the grave, dig up the body, open it up, and they see the rotting corpse with the maggots and the worms and the cobwebs. Tommy grabs a part of the fence, stabs it into him, and then when he gets out, lightning strikes it, and then lightning strikes it again. He puts the gloves on, gets it out, but before that, we see the electricity zapping Jason's body. That one eye of his opens up. He's back! He comes after Tommy. Tommy gets free. Jason comes crawling out of that grave. Tommy's putting the gasoline on him. He tries to light it after it starts raining. Maybe you should have waited till tomorrow, Tommy. You picked a really bad night to do this. His friend hits Jason in the back of the head with a shovel. It has no effect. He turns around and punches through him, holding his heart. The guy falls into the casket, closes on him except for his foot, which is sticking out. Tommy says, heck with this, and leaves. Now, he did bring Jason back his old hockey mask, but Jason basically puts the gloves on, puts the hockey mask, and then lifts up the piece of the fence that resurrected him. We did a zoom in, and that's the James Bond-like thing. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives. Alright, Tommy goes to the cops. The cops don't believe him, but they know who he is. They know he's delusional. They lock him up. Now, Camp Crystal Lake did close down. Now it's been reopened, I believe, as Green Forest, or Forest Green. I have to look it back up. But they are now got a brand new set of counselors. 2 of them are on their way, and one of them's Carl from Ghost. They see Jason blocking the road. They try and back up. There's too much mud behind them. They drive up to him. They try and spook him. He doesn't get scared. He flats one of the tires. Carl gets out with a gun. Jason breaks the headlight. Carl tries shooting him. He impales him, throws him over. He goes for the girlfriend, shattering the windshield. She gets out. She tries buying Jason because he thinks that's what he's after, but he disappears. Oh, bam! On her face. Oh, God. Okay, Jason's now headed back to Camp Crystal Lake because that's his territory. He guards that place from anyone who comes out there. But while he's going there, he runs into a bunch of people playing paintball. Now, I also heard on that Joe Blow video that originally they were supposed to actually have actual guns, and Jason was going to get an Uzi, and I'm like, no, Jason cannot use a gun unless it's a harpoon gun, maybe a flare gun, but he cannot use guns. If he's using a gun, he has to pull a Michael Myers and impale them with it. I love that scene. Oh, good. Well, this is like the most notable part of the movie because this is the one that people bring up the most, especially with the guy with the belt full of goodies that Jason gets. That guy's angry because the lady playing with them tricked him and got him, and she gets these other two guys, and there's the comic relief guy. When I first saw this guy, he put his helmet that Bridget Brody tried putting it back on. I didn't laugh when I saw that. He trips and drops his gun, making you think he's about to get killed, but he's the last one that gets killed by Jason. The first gun is the big tough guy with the machete and the belt full of goodies. We all know this destiny. He catches his arm, the guy turns around and sees him, he launches him into that tree, he hits that smiley face car. Jason looks and sees that he's got the machete, he's got half the guy's arm. He takes his belt full of goodies, and he drops down to the two guys in the lady, and he does a triple header on all three of them. And then there's that comic guy, he shoots him like, what the hell? You just ruined my shirt! The guy drops the paint gun and starts running for his life. He disappears for a while, but it's later revealed that Jason not only caught up with him, he hacked the poor guy to pieces. Honestly, he is one of two people in this film that I kind of wish survived. The other one's later on. Well, Tommy meets the sheriff's daughter. They start falling for each other, but first, Tommy's going to drive out to Jason's grave to try and prove that he came back. Only the gravedigger found it and just covered him back up and didn't even bother putting Tommy's friend's foot back in there. And then whenever they get there, they see it's all covered up, and the guy's like, dig him back up, and the girl's like, dig him back up. Oh, goodness. Well, now Jason's got that belt full of goodies. This is when he comes into the couple and the gravedigger. Now, I saw on the makings of that when the director turned the film in, Paramount wanted 3 more bodies, so this sequence was just added just for that to get 3 more bodies into the movie. The gravedigger's first. He throws his liquor bottle. Jason catches it, shatters it, stabs him in the throat, and starts hacking him up. But there's a couple out there having a nice romantic evening, and when one of them hears the guy scream, he goes out there, and whenever Jason was, he turns towards him, the guy like, we gotta go. They get on a motorcycle, and Jason does his second shish kebab, impaling both of them. And then, when it comes to the counselors, this is actually the first Friday the 13th film that actually has campers at a summer camp. The kids show up, and they're trying to do what they can to make them happy and all that stuff. And they're not really doing a good job with that. And the guy trying to do the fire, all of them walk in like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Just get a match. Well, that guy gets a girl and goes out with her in his RV. Jason shows up. He stops, turns his head towards it, rips the power out. And then when they go outside to check on it, he slips right on inside. The guy starts driving off like a wild maniac playing on a teenage Frankenstein. Jason opens up the bathroom, grabs the girl, pulls her in, and then smashes her face into the mirror, which causes that dent in the wall. Comes out, pulls out that combat knife. When the guy turns to him, he hits him in the head. The RV tips over. Jason knocks the door off and comes out and continues his quest. Well, now when the bodies start coming, they think Tommy's the one doing it. They don't really have any actual proof. They're just assuming he is. And, Jason makes it back to Camp Crystal Lake. He kills these 2 girls. One is she pours beer on it. He grabs her, yanks her out of her big fluffy slippers. Does the old head twist and tears her head off, and then it shows him carrying her headless body. Oh man. And the other girl, she's the other one I thought was going to survive, and I kind of wanted her to, because she was like the nicest one. She helps that little girl who finds that bloody machete, but she thinks it's just a prank. She tells her to say a prayer to make everything better, but whenever Jason shows up, he lets her have it. You see the blood splatter on the window, she shoots through it, he grabs her, gets your butt back in here, and then later when the sheriff goes in, he sees blood everywhere, but it never shows the body parts. But man, he was mad at her. Well, the sheriff's daughter helps Tommy escape. Tommy now believes the only way to really get rid of Jason is to kill him the way he was supposed to die, despite the fact he's been dead for years as a rotting corpse. But I was like, no, that had no effect. You gotta drown him. Put him at the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake. He gets a big rock and chain. Now, the sheriff shows up at the summer camp, tells all the campers to hide underneath their beds. Like that's gonna protect them. He has two guys with him, and one of them's like doing the old flashlight shining around. Jason's still got that belt. He pulls out a throwing blade, launches it, gets the guy right when he shines the light on him. The other one, he comes out, Jason comes out and he shoots him, and you see the holes in the back of his shirt. He does the old head crusher. Sheriff goes and gets the shotgun, and well, when he blasts Jason with that shotgun, the 12 gauge I believe it is, I think Jason should have been breaking up into pieces. He just flies back, lifts back up, keeps getting blasted. No, he should have been erupting in pieces. He doesn't really finally have a really reaction until the sheriff shoots him, I think, in the neck. But whenever that happens, the sheriff now realizes this is Jason, so he makes her run and hide. His daughter shows up. When she screams, Jason turns and goes after her. He's like, no! He tackles Jason, he kicks him, he picks up a rotted branch, hits him, picks up a rock, and he goes, boom, boom, boom. But Jason just grabs him and then does the old bending back, and he's the final victim in the movie. I also thought the sheriff was going to live, but when I saw Jason, I'm like, dang, man. Jason is going after the girl. He does go after the kids when he erupts through the cabin door. And oh man, Tommy gets on that boat, goes out there, starts taunting him, and Jason goes into the water to go get him. Tommy dumps gasoline, lights it, creating that fire for the back of the VHS picture. And oh man, Jason jumps out, he puts the chain around his neck, and Jason smashes the boat in half. It drops down, but Jason grabs Tommy and drowns him. The sheriff's daughter gets in there, she gets grabbed by him, but she grabs the boat's motor, starts pulling it, and hits him in the neck. Then she gets Tommy, gets him out of there, revives him, and it ends with us seeing that Jason is still alive, and yet he can't seem to slide the chain off his neck. In part 3, he was able to remove the rope around his neck when he was hanging, but apparently when he's hanging from above, he can get out. But when he's hanging from below, well, he can't do that. Well, it's kind of like hanging from below. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. I remember whenever I got all the Friday the 13th for my birthday. Well, not all of them. I thought I got 2, and my brother told me he also bought 2 when he bought 1. So I guess for my birthday for 95, 14th birthday, I got 3, 7, and 8. For part 6, I got it on VHS when I ordered it at Blockbuster, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough money saved up, so when they told me it came in, I kind of stalled on getting it, and they kept calling me saying it's ready for pickup, and I had to wait till I had the money, and when I finally got it, I went down there and bought it. They were getting ready to just put it on the shelf when they gave me their final warning, but that's when I finally got the money for it, so that's basically how I got Friday the 13th Part 6 on VHS. Part 4 and Part 5 we just recorded off HBO and Showtime. Well, I keep seeing Part 6 appear on a lot of high lists. People keep calling it like the second best and the favorite, or their favorite in the franchise, like Dr. Wolfula. But unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, for me and my brother, even though we have fun with it, it is our least favorite in the franchise. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't do it for us as much as the others do. And yes, once again, we like the Roy Burns one better. I still don't see what the big deal is. Okay, well, actually, I do. I don't know why I just said that. Yes, it wasn't Jason, and the plan to make Tommy the new killer, well, was thrown out the window after the backlash with that, so that's why they had to bring Jason back. But still, I think Roy Burns a good killer, and I like the deaths in Part 5, and I like the final showdown in Part 5 better, and that's probably why I do want to give that one a few more points above Jason Lives. Don't hate me, don't hate me, don't hate me! But in the end, for all you who made Part 6, happy 40th anniversary to your film. And when it comes to Howard the Duck, I was a fan when I was a kid. When my mother's friend recorded it off Showtime, me and my brother were obsessed with that. And we watched it all the time. It was like our all-time favorite movie. We still had that VHS that we was recorded from for years. But not now. We had it for years. And then when the movie came back, then when we got that George Lucas book, we found out the movie bombed, got panned by everyone. I looked it up in Golden Hound, and it just said, a notorious box office bomb and one of the worst movies in the 80s, but it said its simple story and good special effects should work with kids. That explains why we liked it. Because when my brother's friend loaned him his VHS, my brother called me up and would not stop saying how bad that movie was, and I saw the old VHS recordings, so I grabbed it, popped it in, and I don't think I'm ever gonna watch that movie again. I had no idea. Yeah, but it's one of those movies you love when you're a kid. When you grow up, you don't like it anymore. And well, my brother's memory with this is simply seeing a coffin at the theater for Friday the 13th Part 6, not Howard the Duck. He said he went and saw a movie, but he only saw this Friday the 13th coffin up. And he could not remember what movie, so I looked everything up, and that came out in '86. And I said, "Did you see Flight of the Navigator?" And he said twice, and I go, "That was it." So that mystery got solved. But once again, happy 40th anniversary to all the movies that came out this day, 40 years ago in 1986. And I guess this means I have now gotten 3 Friday the 13th films down of the 1 through 8. Well, 3 down, 5 more to go.